So that's it. We've had enough of Shore Island. Still got a strong wind warning on today, but we've decided we're going to head off. It's a little bit strong wind over there. See if we can get out of it a little bit. Sea state was fine there, no swell, but just very windy. So we thought we'd try and head off to Gulnair Inlet today, which is up just north of Hamilton Island on Whitsunday Islands. So that's our game plan for today. Change of venue.
Yeah.
And not before time, right?
Yeah, it's getting a bit boring there.
Yeah, we've had enough of that. So just coming up to Lindeman Island here in front. Just going to go through the little passage between Lindeman and Seaforth Island. That's that little passage just in front there. This is Seaforth Island. Then we've just got to dodge the exclusion zone where the divers are still investigating that helicopter crash. So we've just got to dodge the corner of that and then up to Dent Passage and then on to Gulnair. It's about a 2.5 hour trip, something like that. This is the old resort at Lindeman Islands, closed at the moment, but yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad spot. Looks like it cops a bit on the sou'easters though. It's got to duck around this point, then we'll run along the northern shore of Lindeman for a while, I think. Just stay out of the swell, make it as easy a trip as we can. Just another derelict Whitsundays resort. So you might be able to make out here the 4 AIS special markers. Basically that's outlining a dive field over here where they're doing the search for the helicopter that went down. We've got dive operations going, so they put 4 virtual AIS markers, the green little diamonds there. So you can see our course. We've set a course for that sort of northeastern one. And then basically this is Dent Passage up the top here. Whoa, a bit of a roll. We've got to go up through there, and then Gulnair is this inlet right at the very top there. So that's our plan for today. Unfortunately, we're trying to get there about an hour before high tide to get into Gulnair. It's quite shallow in there, so that means we'll probably be pushing tide most of this trip. It's right up our clacker. It's literally almost dead square. There you go, dead square. We need a bit of hot water, so we think we might just motor it today. Just be a couple of hours and then we should be there. So that's our game plan. So Dent Passage is just up in front of us, just to the sort of to the right of the forestay there now. An island in the distance there is Whitsunday Island. The one in the foreground here is Coal Island. And then the spectacular one right in the centre screen there now at the back is Pentecost Island. Certainly stands out, Pentecost. Then we're looking back at Little Lindeman and Lindeman Island just back here. Pretty blowy conditions today. We've got about 20 knots at the moment, so it's actually pretty good. It's absolutely dead square though, so we're just going to motor this one today. Get some hot water, not have to worry about poling the headsail and whatnot, so a fairly short trip today. So we're just approaching Dent Passage here. Fairly decent run out tides, really whipping it up through here. She's a bit on the choppy side. It's where the big boat, big motor earns its keep. That's Hercules, the barge that goes out to Hamilton Island there. Just coming out up through the channel the other way from us. Flattened off a bit now, precious. Just in Dent Passage now, so much more pleasant. Still plenty of breeze though. There's Hamo. Just got to keep an eye on this guy up in front here. Got one of the ferries coming into Hamo. I think we should clear him okay. We'll take his transom. Probably nice and protected in there, but we're going to Gulnair still. About $75 a night cheaper at Gulnair. Here we are, we've made it into Gulnair Inlet. Precious is just putting the snubber on. Just running out a bit of rope there just to take up the strain. Look at the conditions in here though compared to where we were. This has got to be one of the best anchorages around in a blow. We're at 30 knots just around that point up in front there. And look at it in here, it's just beautiful. Got the little welcome swallows buzzing around us. Worth the effort to come here. Got some stowaways. Our little welcome swallow friends. Found a nice little spot out of the breeze there. Oh,
We're going to the next boat.
There you go, crab traps deployed. Got 4 out, 4 mud crabs tomorrow morning. Isn't that right, Precious?
We'll see.
I'll see. Beautiful day down here in Gulnair. It's been much more pleasant in here than we had at Shore Island. It's still pretty blowy out there. Still the same sort of forecast, but it's just such a great spot to get out of the weather. No swell. Very little wind as well. It's great. A little GT up here. There you go. He's a little GT. You beauty. But he's going back in because he's a bit on the small side, I think. Ew. Nice little fish. We're on our way. We've left Gulnair Inlet. She's a bit blowy out here. We've got about 18 knots. It's Hamo over in the distance there. We're on our way in today into Airlie Beach. So we've got a little bit of breeze. It's nice, but we're just rolling along at the moment just with the headsail up. Looks pretty cruisy today, so no hurry. So we're just going to roll with our heady. We're pretty square though. We're looking at right on the 180 there, so that's all right. Happy days. Got a little bit of current with us. We're right at the top of the tide, so that should help us, and hopefully it'll flatten out the passage out here. All good though. Nice sunny day at least. A couple of hours over to Airlie. Then catching up with some friends tomorrow and a bit of shopping. Stock up. All good. So finally, Pumpkin, the breeze has started to drop after like more than a week of 25 knots up to 30 knots. Finally it's dropped, so we're out of there. We're out of Airlie Beach. We're just coming around past Pioneer Rocks. on our way over to Border Island today. So we're going to go out past South Mole around the top of North Mole and then cross through Hook Passage and out to Border Island, and hopefully the breeze will play the game, not be too strong. We'll see how that works out. We're towing the dinghy, which is a bit of a risk, but it's supposed to only be 10 to 15 today, freshening to 20 later, north of Hamilton Island offshore, so we'll see how that works out for us. I think he's got the pace. I don't think we're going to keep up with him. What do you reckon?
Bit of a monster of a thing. Looks like
Sure is.
The camo.
It's enormous, isn't it? It's the old Condor. Beautiful. Dinghy seems to be travelling along okay. You see we always run a bridle on it when we're towing it, so just in case something wants to give way, but it's not too bad out here actually. It's probably only about 15 knots. We are pushing a bit of tide going, well, the tide's coming in, so it's travelling right to left as we see it, into the wind a little, but it's not too choppy at all. It's pretty good. Just pulled it in a little bit closer just to get a bit of protection from the boat. So we pulled up here in Catherine Bay for the night, out on Border Island. It's about as busy as I've ever seen it, to be honest. There's a stack of boats in here. All the moorings are full. A couple of the big charter boats out the back there. But it should be a nice enough night. We had a bit of rain a bit earlier. It's a bit rare. Should be a nice enough night though. There's not too much. There's a little tiny bit of swell coming in here, but tomorrow and the next day is supposed to be right down around the variable 10 knot mark. So we're hoping for some cracking weather. I reckon it'd be pretty cozy out there on that boat. British Defender. Very definitely an old racing yacht, but there's a lot of people staying on there tonight. That's a pretty cool looking sky over there. Had a bit of rain this afternoon, but it's all heading away now. And it always leaves a nice sunset when there's a bit of cloud in the west there. Very pretty. See you later, Cataran Bay. It's been nice. Nice today anyway. Bit wet yesterday, but it's all good. A nice little snorkel this morning. On both sides of the bay actually. Had a little snorkel along this point over on the eastern side. We also tried over near where the mooring was. Over basically straight behind us now. There's a couple of bombies real close to that and it was pretty good there too. So not a bad little spot. But today we're off to down to the southern end of the Whitsunday Islands here. We're going to head down to Hazelwood Island. And yeah, probably to a place called White Bay down there, or White Bay sometimes it's known. We're going to try around that area down there. And it's a green zone down there as well, so should be nice snorkeling hopefully. We'll go and investigate it. So we've left Border Island, that's it in the background there at the moment. And we're heading out towards the east a little bit. Up in front here is Deloraine Island. This is the start of the yellow zone out towards Deloraine Island here. So we're going to head out that way a little bit so we can get a lure in. And then we're going to head south down that general direction. So basically we're going to head down towards Hazelwood Island today. Everybody's supposed to go around to the east-northeast later, next couple of days. So we're going to hit that area down there. Looks like a beautiful little beach over here on Deloraine. Might have to go and investigate that one day. So there's a bit of reef around it on the navionics chart though, so anchoring could be a little tricky, but anyway, another one to put down for the future. Okay, so you can see the fishing zones. The green zone's no fishing. The yellow zone means we can have a troll. And over on this map you can see we've just crossed over the line between the green and the yellow, that vertical pink line there. So it's lures in. Okay, fish on! Woo! See what we've got here. Hopefully it's a nice neck. Got colour. Here it comes. The Spanish, he might be a tiny bit small, so we might have to see how it goes, but is it Spanish or Scotty? No, Scotty. Alright, well I'll get him up into the boat. I think he's going to go actually, so watch him. Whoa! Hang on, slow down. Beautiful, look at that. Sweet. Put him on the lie detector and make sure he's legal. So a nice little spotty there. We're at about 62. You can see where we are here. That's Edward up there and Harold Islands. And just back here a little bit is Petrel Rock, I think it is, Petrel Rock. And then that's Hazelwood and Lupton over there. And you can see right over in the distance there where all the boats are is Whitehaven Beach. So we just made a bit of a detour to come over and have a look at these islands. Haven't been over here before. So this is Harold Island and Edward Island in the background. Yeah, not bad looking little spots. Not many people cruise out here, I don't think. There's a blue zone, so we thought we'd come out and have a look at the fishing still. There's a few other little islands you can see in the background. And way over in the distance over there is where we've just come from at Border Island. So if you want to go somewhere that's a little bit more isolated, then this is a part of the Whitsundays you can visit. Again, not sure about the anchorages. I'd have to do a bit more homework on that, but yeah, it might be worth a look one day. So this little island up in front here is Workington Island. We're going to zip around the back of that. The one to the right, just behind there where the sandy beach is Lupton Island. And the spot we want to go to is just on the south side of that, in between Lupton and that island over there with the big point sticking out, which is Hazelwood Island. Beautiful day out here today. Still got a little tiny east southeaster. It's probably about 6 or 7 knots. Little bit of swell still, but it's supposed to be dropping right out this afternoon. So it's supposed to also go around to the east northeast this afternoon. So hence why we're going around on the south side of these islands here. Hopefully that'll work out okay. We've had a change of heart. There is just still a little bit of swell coming out of the sort of east southeast there, so breeze hasn't really swung around to the north yet, so I think we might just stay over in Windy Bay. So it's on the northern side of Hazelwood, basically around this headland that you can see up through the Dodger there. So we're going to duck over there and just see if we can just get out of the swell more than anything. There's not going to be any breeze to speak of, so a little bit of northeast breeze may not be such a terrible thing. It might just be a bit cooler. It's quite warm today, so yeah, stay flexible, that's our motto. We'll see how we go with that plan. That'll be plan C for today, I think. Up ahead there is Pallion Point, and on the other side of that is a place called Windy Bay on Hazelwood Island. So we're going to actually head around in there because we're just a little bit suspicious. And usually swell doesn't show up well on cameras, but there's just a little bit of swell coming around here. So we're a bit worried that if we go where we were going to go, which is basically, if you look carefully up through that gap, that's the gap between Hazelwood Island and Lupton Island on the left. Where those yachts are in the distance is White Bay. And it's on the other side of Lupton Island. And I'm a bit suspicious there that there might be a little bit of swell still getting in there for the time being anyway. There is actually a little gap through there between Lupton and Hazelwood Island, but it's not really suitable for yachts, that's for sure. So we'll duck around here, have a look at what it looks like around in Windy Bay. It's actually a pretty nice spot. We've been there before, beautiful sandy bay. So we'll go in there. As long as there's no swell in there and the breeze isn't too much, then we'll probably just stay in there tonight maybe. You can see in the distance beyond Pallion Point here is Whitehaven Beach. So the more popular end is the southern end of Whitehaven, which will be just starting to come around into view very shortly. But yeah, we'll see how it looks in here in Windy Bay, I think. Not sure if you can see this current line here. There's some sort of lighter green, milkier looking water, and then if you get, as you're coming closer to the boat, you can see the dark blue, sort of more oceanic sort of coloured water. And basically that current line's running this right down here just past Pallion Point. Interesting. This is looking pretty nice. That's the western side of Pallion Point there, and this is coming around up into Windy Bay here. Going to try and tuck right up past that cruiser there, up against that little beach there, I think, up in the distance. Get an eyeful of this place. Beautiful. Got a nice little breeze coming around Pallion Point behind us. It's just going to keep it nice and cool because it's actually a pretty warm day today. Have a look at this. There's the rest of Windy Bay. Very nice. Just a little gentle zephyr of breeze to keep our wind generator going. But I think we might be over to that beach fairly shortly for a swim. How nice does this look? Just got a couple of other little trailer boats on the beach here with us. There's Nariki parked out the back there. Just beautiful. Beautiful sandy beach here. So, it can only mean one thing. I'm going swimming. Sam's just been dropping a bit of old fish skin and stuff over the side here to the bait fish. And if you look really carefully, you can see a mackerel swimming around down there. I've got it in my hand here. Here we go. Sam and I were keen for another snorkel, so we motored the dinghy over to the island at the western end of Windy Bay. We wanted to snorkel the reef along the northwestern side of the island, and we were pretty happy we did. The coral there was really good, much better than we'd expected to see. It's coming to the end of another beautiful day up here in the Whitsundays. Got a couple of classic days. Sitting here in Windy Bay East. It's been absolutely beautiful. Lovely little snorkel today. Conditions are absolutely perfect. Now we get to have a couple of sundowners and enjoy the sunset out to the west there. Over the top of sort of Hill Inlet sort of area, I guess it is. Very pretty.